Hi, Cathy Zukimoto with IdeateTV, and I'm here with...
My name is Sarit Klein.
And she does makeup design for the Defenders and Daredevil. I say the Defenders first because I'm like a huge fan of the Defenders, and you do a really great job.
Thank you. Well, actually, I've designed Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones 1 and 2, Luke Cage 1, Iron Fist, and Defenders.
Ooh, nerd girl heart,
So
nerd girl
I've been
heart.
sleeping for 4 years.
Exactly. Now, for those who might not know why that is, can you explain a little bit about your hectic schedule? Like why?
Oh, yes. Well, we started working on Daredevil Season 1 in mid-2014, and as the designer and department head of the makeup department, I have about 1 week off in between each show. And not only do we prep the next episode while we shoot an episode, but because there was a deadline for Netflix to air a certain show, they scheduled it that we started shooting 4 or 5 weeks after we wrapped a show, the next one. So I found myself prepping the next show while shooting the end of the previous show. So for instance, for Luke Cage, I don't know if you've seen Luke Cage Season 1, there was a flashback episode with, to show the time passage. We designed the beards and the wigs, and I had to prep that about 2 to 3 months in advance because it was custom made while we were shooting the end of Jessica Jones, and Mike was in Jessica Jones. So there's a lot of multitasking, there's a lot of juggling. I'm not on set all the time, and we have night shoots in tandems. So I supervise a lot of the manpower, I delegate. There's just a lot going on that people aren't aware of. I mean, it's very rewarding, but you adjust your schedule. I meditate.
Yeah. Meditation, people, meditation.
Sure do.
And for those who don't know, prepping a show and striking a show are usually done separately, not at the same time.
That's correct.
And wouldn't you say that makeup is a huge character development part of it? We were just talking to a costume designer, we were talking to production designers. I would say that makeup is also a huge tell for the characters in which what you're putting on screen, basically. So everybody's looking right at it.
Well, I feed off costumes 100%. Stephanie and I collaborate on everything from the beginning when we establish a character, and many times when we establish a new look for a character. I find it very important, especially on these Marvel Netflix shows, that they're determined to have a more real and grounded look for the shows. So to me, makeup enhances the story, and it will create a more grounded and real and vulnerable character. I never want an audience to point and say, why is Jessica Jones wearing red lipstick and running in heels? That's not what we're about. We're actually portraying existing illustrations and bringing them to life in the contemporary nitty-gritty New York. So I evaluate in advance. There's a lot of imagination, prep, discussions, emails, approvals about the look of a character, and less is more sometimes. I like to let the skin shine. Guys don't get much. Sometimes it's character makeup.
And your job sounds amazing, by the way. Sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Despite the hectic schedule, it's an amazing job. For those who want to do what it is that you do, what would you suggest for them to get their start?
Well, my path to doing what I was doing was very unconventional. I have a background that is a business degree, and I somehow, through working and helping create a television station in Israel, I saw what set is like, and I like that. I did study makeup just for fun. I grew up painting and doing makeup for myself, my mom, my friends. So I had the inclination. I was very creative as well. So being a makeup designer, for me, is the perfect job for me because my left brain and my right brain are both working. So you have to maintain manpower, you have to figure out budgets, but then you're designing and you're actually applying makeup. So if somebody wants specifically to do makeup design, for starters, I would say know the color wheel. That's the basic, especially with these new 60-inch screen TVs and IMAX that we have, and the HD, you can see every single thing. I learned to adjust the way I utilize makeup products and how I blend when we started shooting Iron Fist. Because I saw on the monitors that the colors that looked more muted in the trailer pop out on screen. So you need to always keep up with the trends that are out there, and you need to study, you need to read a lot. I educate myself all the time. I talk to my team. I learn from them. And be very passionate about what you're doing and love it, because it's not always going to be easy. You're going to be doing a lot of night shoots, tandems, but if you're passionate about it, and you'll get to where you want to get to. Just continue doing it.
It was very educational for me as well. So thank you so much for coming to and talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.